Good afternoon, I'm Brandon Kelly, and I just want to kind of go through the basic window cleaning setup that I use in my company. So if you're just getting started and you don't have equipment yet, let's go ahead and go through just some of the simple items that you can get to get yourself started. So number one is you're going to want a belt. You're going to want a belt so that you can put your mop and squeegee on there. And generally you'll hold that inside of a BOAB. This is a BOAB, that's bucket on a belt. So this is your powerhouse. This is how you're getting the window scrubbed down and then pulling all that dirty water off the window. The other things you're gonna need is you're gonna need a towel. I use just a regular terry cloth towel, as well as these medical rags, medical towels. They don't leave fuzz when you're detailing. These happen to be really good for detailing glass or fixing any type of little mess ups. The last type is a microfiber. I love using microfiber for detailing frames before and also frames and tracks afterwards. So these are all good type of towels to have on your person. For scrubbing the window, I'll use either a walnut pad, or you can use 000 or quad 0 steel wool. This stuff is an abrasive, but it's fine enough to where you're not going to damage the window itself, the glass. These are the only ones that you can use. Don't use anything that's more coarse or you will leave scratches inside the window. Later on, you might end up getting a razor blade. Razor blades are good for taking off stickers, sap, or stuck on items. I don't recommend using a razor blade at the beginning. Just get used to cleaning the window. You can add a razor blade later on once you get kind of used to the whole process. And then the last thing is a screen remover. So what I use for a screen remover is just this. It's a paint can opener. When you're pulling screens off from the outside, they can be really hard to get your finger in there and pull them off. So the best way is you just depress the screen, stick the paint can opener in the opening, and this little lip kind of gets behind the screen. You can pop the whole thing out without causing damage. Now to get started, you want to have a bucket for your window cleaning solution and just your general Dawn dish soap. When I make my window cleaning solution, I fill this bucket up about halfway with water and then use about 4 or 5 second squirt of Dawn dish soap in there. Just squeeze the bottle, count to 4 or 5, and then stop. And then you'll take your mop and mix that around, get it all nice and soapy, and then that's what you'll be using to clean the window. So the other things I have on my belt here is I have a drop pouch. This drop pouch, I put my wet steel wool in. I usually keep a dry steel wool for detailing after the window has been cleaned. I also, on mine, I put an alligator clip that is attached to a chain, and when I'm doing second story windows, sometimes I'll put the screen inside this alligator clip and just let it hang off my belt. You can stick it in the ladder or balance it on stuff, but I've just found that this is the easiest way without accidentally dropping screens. And then around the back, I have another dump pouch. I keep my detail rags in here, and I also normally carry a 6-inch squeegee. This little 6-inch squeegee is great for windowsills. It's great for smaller windows, and it's great for cleaning up if you've got little mistakes around the edges of the frame. That pretty much covers it for the belt setup. I would recommend using gloves because, as you know, if you've ever washed dishes for a long time, Dawn will dry your hands out, and so it's good to use gloves so that you don't get worn out. Oh yeah, last thing, you do want to get yourself a pole. There's a bajillion different types of poles out there. I like using Garlic poles. They're really light. They're aluminum, and you can get them in all sorts of sizes. I have 4-foot ones. I've got 12-foot ones, and then I've got other types of poles. Unger makes some other good aluminum poles. They're a little bit heavier though, so this is kind of my pole of choice for just standard cleaning. So that's the basics Pretty simple. I will go ahead and show you how to make your solution and then give you a demonstration on a window. To make your window cleaning solution, you're gonna fill your bucket halfway full with fresh water and then put 4 to 5 seconds worth of Dawn dish soap in there. Then stick your mop in there, mix that around until it's all soapy and you're good to go. Okay, so now that we've gotten our solution and our mop is wet, we want to come up to the window and remove this screen. The easiest way to remove the screen, like I said before, is to use your paint can opener. And you're going to take your thumb and go on the inside of the window. So there's tabs on the outside of the window, meaning outside, meaning away from the center point, and there's springs on the inside. So you're going to push those springs in, take your paint can opener and slide it into the crack, and then pull that screen out. Once you get that, depress the top and then pull the screen out. And then you can set that screen away or hang it off your belt, depending on what your setup is. All right, now that we've got the window available, we're going to take our detail rag and initially wipe around the frames and the tracks, making sure that we get all the dry, nasty stuff. So the first step is going to be wetting the window. After you've gotten all the frames wiped down, you're going to wet the window. You don't really have to scrub super hard here. You just really want the entire window to be wet. Get all those suds on there. And then you're going to take your wet wool, fold it out like this so it covers most of your hand, and you're going to scrub every inch of the window. What this is doing is it's breaking up any dirt that's on there, scrubbing off anything that's stuck. And you can just use the mop at the beginning, but this is gonna give you a better finish when you're all done. Okay, once you've gotten that scrubbed, you're gonna take your squeegee, and there's two different ways to do this. One is the straight pull and one is fanning. So for straight pull, you're gonna dry the top by pulling your squeegee across the top. Dry your squeegee off, and then start here at the top, angle it slightly towards the frame, and pull straight down. Okay, then take your squeegee off the glass, dry it again, come back to the top, again angle it slightly towards the frame, and come straight down. Okay. And that leaves you with your dry window. Now you just have to take your terry cloth towel and detail the edges. Okay, so you're gonna dry up any of that excess that you didn't get with the squeegee. Once you're done with that, you can go back and get the rest of that stuff out of the track that you didn't get initially. Now that it's wet, it should come off quite a bit easier. So your second method is the fanning method. So let's get the window wet again. Okay. And then we would scrub down again with our wet wool. And you want to make sure you get all the way to the top. Unfortunately, I'm a little short for this window. If you do find that you can't get all the way to the top, you can always take your wool, stick it on the end of your mop, and get it up there in the corners like this. Okay. Now we're going to switch over to our squeegee. And what I like to do is start here in the bottom, and you're going to come up and rotate the squeegee until you're just a little bit off the frame. And then come across and rotate the squeegee again until you're just a little off the frame, and then come down to the bottom, rotating until you're just a little off the frame. And what I mean by just a little off the frame is the top of your squeegee is only a few inches away from the frame. That's going to make sure that you don't leave streaks. Now that you've got it here, you're gonna come back up and fan all the liquid off the middle, changing your angle to kind of a rainbow, right? Making this fan going back and forth, getting all of that solution off. And then when you get to the bottom, you can go straight across and pull it down just like that. So you can't quite see from there, but this method, it's pulled more of the liquid off of the frame, leaving you less to clean up. And also I didn't have to take the squeegee off the frame at all. So go through, dry up your window, any bits of wet that's left, dry out the track, make sure that any drips on the house get taken care of. And again, if you have a section that you can't reach, use your squeegee like this, put your towel in there, and then now you can reach to the very top and dry that off. Okay, so that's your basic cleaning methods, your straight pull and your fanning. Put your frame back in, you're gonna do the opposite of what we did before. So you've got these springs on this side and you've got tabs on this side. You're gonna take the springs and set them into the track and depress the spring, which will allow you to drop the screen into the screen track. Then do the same thing with the bottom and just make sure that's fully seated inside of there. If it's hanging off the edge, sometimes you have to give it a little pop to get it to seat fully in there, and then you're all done. So I'm back in the office now. Hopefully that little tutorial was helpful to you. If you're just getting started and you've got questions, leave them down in the comments. Like and subscribe and follow me for more videos like this. If you have any suggestions for the channel or requests for topics, go ahead and leave them in there, and I'd love to get to know you over time. Best of luck on your ventures, and talk to you soon. Peace.